Hello and welcome to My Retro Watches. My name is Mike, and if you're new to the channel, thank you very much for watching. I do hope you enjoy it, and don't forget please to subscribe by clicking the button down below here and the bell button next to it. Okay, with that out of the way, right, we are revisiting the app versus Timegraph video. So the results on the first one were interesting, should we say, and after reading all your comments and some personal messages I got as well, plus my own curiosity, I thought, well, can we tweak it just a little bit? Can we get a little bit more out of that app? So today I'm going to just do a very similar test. We're just going to do the one watch. We're going to run it on the Timegrapher and the old-fashioned way with the normal iPhone headphones. And then I'm going to use this lapel mic we've got here. I'm going to take the case back off for that as well. Plus we're going to mess around with some of the sensitivity settings, and we'll see if we can get a better reading than we did in the first video. So stay tuned. We're going to swap to the bench now. I'll get it all set up and we'll go on that journey of exploration to find out which one, not which one, because we're not comparing this time, are we? Of course, we're just going to see if we can get this thing running a little bit better and give us more accurate results. Okay, we're on the bench, and let me first of all show you the watch that we're going to be using. It's another one out of my collection. I'd be interested actually if any of you want to see any videos of my retro watch collection, because there's quite a lot of them. Most of them have been touched in one way or another by my hand. So, surprise, we've got another Seiko, and this is a 7019 7210. And it should say so on the back. Yep, and it's from 1973. So I've completely restored this everywhere, the case, inside the service. I've done the bracelet, and there is a blog post on it, and I'll leave a link above if you want to read that blog post. The lighting isn't great in here to see it, but it has a faceted crystal, which I was lucky enough to find a genuine new old stock from the Stefan, whose link is below. His eBay shop is below, and he has got lots and lots of very interesting Seiko stuff, so please check him out. And by the way, this isn't sponsored at all. I just like Stefan. He's helped me out a few times, and I should give him a shout out where I can. Also a couple of things. If you're going to check your watch, it is best to have it fully wound. And these Seiko automatics, for instance, they don't automatically, well, they do automatically wind, but you can't hand wind them. So I've already done this, but in principle, it's the same on nearly every watch. So you can manually wind. So if you can see, I'm just trying to find my screwdriver. So this here, this is a screw which is attached to the barrel, which winds the mainspring. So you can actually carefully turn that and screw to wind the spring to its maximum. If you try and regulate a watch or just check the watch's accuracy with a watch that's hardly wound at all, you will get erroneous readings because it's not running at its full optimum speed. So it's always wise to do it from a full wind. Okay. Separate to that, a little bit of technical thing, I suppose. I'm going to be using my lapel mic, and it's a recent purchase. I don't know anything about these sort of things. It's a Boya, and it's an M1, of course, it says there. And this cost me 15 UK pounds, so I guess it's not really a massive amount of money for a microphone. It has got some specky details on the back here. And again, this is not my area at all, so you can tell me whether this is good or bad. I'm hoping really that because it records the sound better on the video, that perhaps it'll listen better than those ones that come with the iPhone headphones. So, okay, with that all the way out, we'll get straight onto the test. I'm going to just switch the phone on, and you can see the app like you did previously. And I'm going to leave it untouched, other than because we're using a 7 series Seiko. This time the lift angle is 53. So I'll set that on there, and of course I'll set it on there. Now we're going to run it completely stock, so I'm going to leave the sensitivity as it is. I never showed you these settings last time. These are the default settings, and the only one I think I will change eventually is this one here, which is to do with the diagram, because perhaps that might actually give us a better diagram picture, because last time the pictures were awful in my opinion. So let's get the first watch on, well, not the first watch, the only watch, and do the first test as it was before, so we've got a nice datum to refer to. So I'll just set that up and we'll get it going. Okay, I've replicated how it was in the first video. Case back is on, microphone is in position, the lift angle is set to 53 on both the Timegrapher and the telephone app. I'm going to use this Straton Synchro, which is probably one of the only brand new watches I've ever bought. And I bought this because, look at it, it's retro. I know the light is not very good in here today, but let's get this going. So 3 minutes starting from now. Okay, so there's the end of the first test. We can see on the Timegrapher that we've got -6 seconds per day. It's losing. Amplitude is 226, and the beat error is absolutely spot on. The lines are nice and parallel. It's practically one line because of the lack of any beat error. So you know, I serviced this one quite well, I'd like to say, from those sort of results. So let's see what the phone did. And surprisingly enough, this time, and it's probably the first time in all of these tests, we've actually got almost parallel lines running. So it was displaying it pretty well. The results. So we have 6 seconds versus either the average of 7.5 or 7.3, beat error 0.2, and the amplitude of 238. So, okay, every one of them is wrong, but they're not that far out compared to the first test, and I've done absolutely nothing different here. So I don't know, this is confusing me a little bit. I was hoping it would look really erroneous, that we could have a lot to improve looking at this. Let's see what we can tweak, but it's a shock to me that this time it's actually displayed it correctly and I've changed nothing on the settings. So that's got me thinking. However, let's set up with the other microphone and take the case back off and have a little tweak and see what we can get out of it. Okay, I've set up the other microphone there and secured it down with a bit of Rodico, and let's just look at the app now and see what we can tweak. So first of all, I'm going to go into the settings and I'm going to change that diagram noise reduction to very high. And then we can change the sensitivity. So let's take the sensitivity up. Let's take it up to 15 and see what that's going to give us. Okay, so let's see how we got on. And interesting. So the amplitude is 230. On the last reading it was 238. So it sort of made that a little bit more accurate, despite the fact now that the amplitude on the Timegrapher is 222. The beat error, well, the beat error is still too far out for my liking. to say that we've had any notable differences in that small tweak. And the rate, well, 7 against either 7.6 here, or if you went on the average, I don't know whether we should go on the averages anymore, at 8.7. It's improving, but not a lot. And my experience tells me that perhaps I should turn the sensitivity down. You can do exactly the same thing on the Wishy. You can use this here. This controls the mic. It's not going to do it because it's in pause mode. And you tend to find if you've got it up too high, it starts picking up anything in the background. So as much as I'm sitting here as quiet as I can be, it might hear my seat creak, or it might hear me breathing. I don't know. So let's turn the sensitivity down and run it one last time and see what we get then. Right, I'm going to turn the sensitivity down to, so it was on 12 as default, so let's take it to 8 and see if that's going to make any difference at all. And we're off. Okay, there's another 3 minutes past, and let's see what have we got. Interesting. So it hasn't changed the beat error by much, although it has dropped it by 0.1 of a second, so it has improved it slightly. The rate, it's read the rate not very well currently at 10.8 or an average at 8.9. However, the amplitude is a little bit closer, isn't it? 227 plays 230. So that little tweak has given some slightly different results, should we say. Incidentally, because I was watching the phone while it was doing it, and it took 1.5 minutes for it to actually calculate or have enough calculations for the amplitude. So perhaps the sensitivity at 8 is actually a little bit too low for this watch. So I'm going to do one last test where we'll take that up by 2, so we'll take it up to 10 and just see if we can get one last little tweak out of this. Okay, so for the final test, I've set the app to 10 sensitivity, as you can see there. So let's get it going. Go. So there it is, that's the last test, and let's see how good the app was. So we have pretty much the same readings as before. So we've got a rate of 6.8 or an average of 9.2, so it's kind of sitting somewhere in the middle of what the Timegrapher is saying there at 8. Amplitude is 229 against 235, although the average is 230, so okay, we're getting better, more consistent readings on amplitude. However, the beat error is absolutely no good. I mean, the drawing is interesting because it's trying to tell me here really that one side of the palette, so either the tick or the tock here, is not quite right, which of course that's erroneous compared to what it's showing on there. So what do I think? Difficult for me to say. I'll put myself in front of the camera and let's sort of round the video off, I think. Right, okay, let's round this up. So what do I think? Difficult. I think the app, despite trying to tweak it in all different ways, it's still fairly inconsistent against the machine, that is. We have been able to get the results that little bit closer, except for beat error, which obviously it cannot handle at all. And I'm in a really quiet environment at the moment, so there's no excuse. There's nothing in the background that could be picking it up at the moment. So yeah, the app has still got a place in the market, definitely. For you guys who are just into watches that don't want to spend the £100 for that, yeah, it's all right, but it's never going to be as good as the real machine, is it? We can tweak it, we can get slightly better results, but I think you could sit there all night really, changing the sensitivity one by one, and you would still get inconsistent results. You could probably keep the sensitivity the same and do the trial time and time again, and would you get exactly the same results? And I don't know, I'm not too sure really, and I don't really want to do that as another test either before you start commenting below and telling me to do such a thing. So this was just meant to be a quick video just to see if we could eke out a little bit, and I think we have. I still don't want to say that the app is any better than it was in the first video really. Okay, so thanks very much for subscribing, guys. Thanks for all the likes, thanks for all the comments. It really does spur me on. Clearly you must like some of the things that I do, which is interesting for me. I'm quite surprised all the time. There's more videos coming very soon. The next one hopefully is going to be on how to regulate a watch using this very timegraph. Very straightforward really, just a few little tweaks, so it should be a fairly short video compared to my usual half-an-hour monologues that I tend to knock out. So stay tuned for that one, it'll be coming along very soon. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it and leave comments below, really do appreciate it. Thanks for watching.